Okay, so to start this hat, obviously you need to make your slip knot. And yeah, I'm having some trouble there. I'm looking through the camera, so it's a little bit harder to do. Alright, so we're going to chain 2. And what we're going to do is work 8 single crochet from the second chain from our hook. And I like this method. I think it provides a sturdier type hat. I know some people are huge fans of the magic circle, and if that's easier for you, then you know, feel free. But I find this to be easier for me. We're all different. So I have 7, and then I have 8. So for this round, I am not joining, and usually when you join, you would work a slip stitch right in there to secure your circle, but I'm not going to do that for this. And what you can do, if sometimes it's hard when you're going to work in a continuous round, that you might lose track of what your last stitch is. So you can just put a handy little marker on there, and I like to use scrap pieces of yarn. They're cheap and easy, but if you have stitch markers, you know, certainly you can use those too. And now my last stitch is marked, and I know where I am. Alright, so for round 2, we're just going to work 2 single crochet in each stitch for a total of 16. So 1, 2, so I'm at 11, 12, 13, 14. Now I'm at my stitch marker. I know that's my last stitch. And then I'll work stitches 15 and 16. Now for this round, I am going to join it, and you'll know why in a second. But I want to mark my last stitch, because sometimes when you join, it looks like 2 stitches, but this is actually the joining stitch. This is actually your last stitch right here. So I'm going to pop that guy on there. And now I know that's my last stitch. And with this pattern, you can use whatever colors that you want. You can make it all one color. It's completely up to you. So now I'm going to chain 3, and that's going to count as my double crochet. And we are going to work 2 double crochet in each stitch for a total of 32. So far, really simple. There's 1, 2. So I'm at 29, 30, and now I know I'm at my last stitch right here. And I'm going to pull that guy out for 31. And I'm actually going to change color, so I'm going to change to my gray here. So 32. And now I'm going to change colors. And I'm not going to cut my white yarn. Now if you wanted to make every round a different color, I'm going to just keep this white and gray. So what I'm going to do is carry my yarn, so that's less ends to weave in. But let's say, you know, you were using like 10 different colors, which you certainly could do. You know, then you'll, you know, want to snip your yarn. But I'm going to carry my yarn. So now I'm going to join in my first, chain 3, and now I've made 32 stitches, 32 double crochet, and I'm ready to start round 4, and I'm using my different color. So we're going to chain 1, and we are just going to single crochet all the way around, because as you can see, it's a little bit ruffly, and you don't want it to be ruffly, so we're just increasing it. You know, it's kind of, you have to play around with it if you want it to be a little bit more flatter. So there's 1, and we're just going to continue to work 32 double crochet all the way around. 31, 32. So now I'm at my last stitch, and I want to mark this stitch, and I'm just going to use my handy little stitch marker right here. Now we're ready to begin round 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're on 5, and I'm just going to single crochet right in that stitch. We're not joining, and we're going to do a little bit more increasing. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then in stitch number 4 we're going to increase by 2, and all that is just putting 2 single crochet right in that same stitch right there. Oops. And keep your hook in your loop. There you go. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, and then put 2 single crochet right in stitch number 4. And you're just going to keep doing that all the way around. So if you just think of it as a sequence of, again, I did it again. As I was saying, if you just think of it as a sequence of 1, 2, 3, and then in stitch 4 you're going to put 2 single crochet. And we're just going to keep on going all the way around. Okay, so we are at our last set of 4 stitches, and we'll just finish up this sequence. So there's 1, 2, 3. Now I'm at my stitch marker, and now I'm at, and also stitch 4, and I'm going to work 2 stitches right in there in stitch number 4. And I am going to, actually I wanted to change color, so I'm going to take that guy out real quick, and I'm just going to pick up, this is called carrying my yarn, so I'm going to pick up my white and just finish off that stitch. And then I like to give the gray guy just so it matches the other one. And now I'm ready to begin my next round, and I am joining, and we're ready to begin our next round. So I'm just placing a stitch marker in that last stitch just so I know where I'm at in the pattern. So there we go, and now we are ready to begin our next round. So if we count, we're at round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're at round 6. And I've started with a chain 3 because this is a double crochet round, and we will not be increasing. I have my stitch marker all ready to go. So that's stitch 1. Here's number 2. This yarn is splitting. That's what we call a splitty yarn, but that's okay. It happens. Some people, it really, really annoys them. It doesn't bother me too much. I mean, I guess if it was super splitty, but this one's not too bad. And we're just going to double crochet all the way around, and then we will have a total of 40 double crochet. Okay, so now I'm almost done this row, or round, not rows, we're working in rounds. So we are at 37, 38, 39, and there's my stitch. And we've got a little bit of a tangle. You know, it happens. So that's 39. Now we're at number 40. Pulling out my handy little stitch marker, and I'm going to switch back to gray. So again, I'm just picking up my gray right there. Oops, make sure I get the right color. And then just finishing off this stitch. Now when you do carry colors, just make sure you don't pull it too tightly. So you don't want to yank this real tight, because then that's going to create tension in your hat, and you don't want that. So, you know, it's going to kink it up, and it's just not going to look nice. So just make sure you watch your tension. You also don't want it too loose, you know, just be relaxed when you do that. And now we are going to join right here in our first chain 3, and it's not cooperating. There we go. And now we have completed that round. So now we are ready to begin. So we'll count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Round 7, and this will be an increased round. So you're probably noticing that we're only increasing on the single crochet stitches. So we will chain 1, and we're going to work 1 single crochet in there, and we're going to do the same sequence. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then in stitch 4 we are working 2 stitches. So there's 4, and then we're putting 2 stitches right in there. So now we've increased, we have 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just keep doing that all the way around. So there's 1. So now we're at number 2, 3, and we're at stitch 4, and we just work 2 stitches. I'll show that one more time. So 1, 2, 3, and in stitch 4 put your 2 stitches right in there, and you'll just keep doing that all the way around. Okay, so I'm almost done round 7 for my last sequence of 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then that last stitch, work my 2 single crochet to complete round 7. And again, I'm going to pop in my little stitch marker just for my reference there to make my life a little bit easier. Alrighty, so now we're ready to begin round 8. So we have a total of 50 single crochet, and now we are going to continue to single crochet around, and we are going to increase again. So this time it's going to be a sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in stitch 5 we're working 2 single crochet, because it's all about the math. So 4 does not go into 50, but 5 goes into 50. So now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, and then right here, number 5, work our 2 single crochet. And you're just going to keep doing that all the way around. And then you will want to join with a slip stitch in that first stitch. Alright, so we are almost done round 8 in our sequence of 5. So there's 1, 2, 3, stitch 4, and now we're at stitch 5. I'm just going to pull out my stitch marker and work my 2 stitches in there, and put my stitch marker back in, because we are going to join here. And the reason why I don't always join is I think it just creates a little bit of a nicer finish. A lot of times with crochet, the stitches, especially when you're changing colors, they don't always stack up real well on top of each other. So with this method, it helps it to stack up a little bit better. so that when you're looking at the hat, of course, like this part would be the back of the hat, but you know, at least it would look a little bit nicer. Actually, I wanted to change colors there. I start talking about something else and forgot what I was doing. All right, so we will change to white. So I'm just picking that guy up, making sure it's not too tight, and gently pulling that, and then taking my gray and just giving that a little tug, not too tight, so that you know, the stitch looks uniform with the rest of the stitches. It's just that little extra step that just makes your project look a little bit nicer. And I'm gonna insert my stitch marker and get ready to start round 9. So I'm joining, ready to start round 9. I'm chaining 3 because this is a double crochet round. So this is really a simple pattern, just basically double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, and you're just increasing a little bit as you go. But with double crochet rounds, we don't increase on them, we just work even. So you should have a total of 60 double crochets, 'cause we increased up to 60 stitches. So just keep double crocheting around. Okay, so we are almost finished round 9, and as you can see, our hat is growing, which is what we want, so it will fit around a head. So this is stitch 55, I think, 56, or maybe it's 56, I'm not sure. 57, yep, 58, 59, and then in my last stitch, I'm at my stitch marker, so I know for sure that's my last stitch. I'm going to change to gray. So that's stitch number 60. Where are you, gray? There you are. Just going to finish that stitch off, and then I'm ready to join in my first stitch and ready for round 10. So there we go, we're ready to start round 10. So we're going to chain 1, we're going to single crochet right in that same stitch, and we're going to increase again. So this is stitch, we're going to think of it as a sequence of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're at stitch number 6. We're going to work 2 single crochet right in that stitch. So now we've increased, and we'll do it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're at stitch number 6, and we'll work our 2 single crochets right in stitch number 6. Okay, so we're almost done row 10. So this is stitch number 5, and then number 6. We'll work our 2 single crochet, and then I'm going to place a stitch marker again just to mark my stitch. So my stitch is marked. Oops. Not sure what's going on there. There we go. And now we're going to be ready to work row 11. So for row 10, you should have 70 stitches, so 70 single crochet. And we are going to be done increasing. So if you want a larger hat, you know, feel free to increase again to however large you would need it. All you would need to do is work a sequence of 7. So you would single crochet 7, or I'm sorry, single crochet 6, and then in your 7th stitch work 2 single crochet, and then that would increase your hat. Because you want to increase you know, fairly evenly, so it just looks nice and uniform in the pattern. So now all we're going to do is single crochet all the way around. So now it gets really simple. So there's 1, 2, and to make sure I'll have 70 stitches. You know, stitch count is really important when you're crocheting, because if your count's off, that's just going to throw off your pattern. So I'm almost on round 11, so we are at 68, 69, and my last stitch 70, and then I'm going to change to white again to keep up with my color sequence. You can certainly make up your own, and then I'm going to join and completed row 11. Now we're going to start row 12, and I'm going to pop my stitch marker in there, and row 12 is very simple. We're just going to double crochet all the way around, and you should have a total of 70 double crochet, because this guy right here counts as a stitch. So we are almost done round 12. So we are going to finish that up. Stitch number 69, and then stitch number 70, and then I'm going to change back to gray, and then the next 2 rounds, so round 13, I'm going to join real quick right there with a slip stitch. So ready to start round 13 and 14. So round 13 and 14, all you're going to do is single crochet around. So I said round 13 you will not join, but round 14 you will join, and then you'll get ready to start your double crochet round. So you'll start to see it's starting to take a hat-like shape there. So we're getting there. The hard part is done. This part, what we did up top, is shaping, you know, increasing it, and now you're just working your basic stitches to get the length that you want for your hat. So I'm going to get started on my round 13. So chain 1, single crochet right in that same stitch, and I'm just going to keep on going. And then I'll work round 14, and I'll show you what that looks like. So I'll meet you back for round 15. Alright, so we're ready to start round 15. So we completed round 13 and 14, and all we did was single crocheted around. Round 13 we didn't join, but round 14 we did, and I switched to my next color, my white, and we're going to chain 3, and we're just going to double crochet all the way around for a total of 70 stitches, and this counts as a stitch. So I'm just going to keep going. Okay, so I'm almost done round 15. So stitch number 68 or 69, I'm sorry, I can't count, and 70. And I'm going to switch back to gray. So for round 16 and 17, those are single crochet rounds. So I'm joining in my first stitch, chaining 1, single crocheting right in that same stitch, single crochet in my next stitch, oops, and I'm going to continue to single crochet around for round 16, and I'm not going to join, but for round 17 I'm going to single crochet around, and then I'm going to join. So we're almost done round 17. So I'm finishing up my last few stitches, 69 and stitch 70, and I'm going to change back to white again. And for round 18, we are just doing double crochet again. So I'm joining in that round, chaining 3 to start my round, not row, round. and we are just going to continue to double crochet, work 70 double crochet all the way around for round 18. Okay, so I'm almost done round 18. Just finishing that up. And I'm going to switch back to my gray yarn, and we are getting close to working the band. So we are getting close to finishing up this hat, which is great. So I'm switching to my gray yarn, joining. And so for round 17, or I'm sorry, rounds 19 and 20, I believe we are in round 18. And for rounds 19 and 20, you're just going to single crochet all the way around. And again, so I'm chaining 1, single crochet in that same stitch, single crochet in my next stitch, and just continue to single crochet around. So round 19 I'm not going to join, but for round 20 I will. Alright, so I'm almost done round 20. So that's 69 and then 70, and I'm going to switch back to my white. And now we are going to get ready to start working on the hat band. Now if you would like your hat to be slouchier, a little bit longer, then you could work a couple more rounds in the sequence, but I like where this hat is going. I like where it's at, so I'm going to start the band. So I'm just joining like normal. And now I'm going to switch to a smaller hook. So right now I've been working with an I hook or a 5.5 millimeter, and I'm going to switch to an H hook or a 5 millimeter hook, because I just want the band to be a little bit more snug fitting around. So it's completely up to you. If you like, you know, the snugness of your hat, then you can certainly keep using the same hook. If not, you know, just bump it down. It just helps with a little bit of the shaping, and you know, I like my hat to stay on my head. I have a small head, so that's why I'm switching. So to start round 21, we're going to chain 1, and we are going to work an extended single crochet. So if you've never done one of those before, really simple. I'll show you really quickly. So I'm chaining 1, and I'm just going to work a single crochet, or I'm working right in that same stitch. I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, chain 1, yarn over again, and then finish off my stitch and pull through. So I've made 1 extended single crochet. I'm going to do that again, insert my hook in the next stitch, make my chain 1, and then pull through both of those loops. And we are just going to continue working 70 extended single crochet all the way around our hat. And you will join in the first stitch. So I'm just finishing up round 21 with my extended single crochet, and then I'm going to join in my first stitch with a slip stitch to complete my round. Now before we start with round 22, I just wanted to say, if you decided to increase your hat so that it was wider, we have 70 stitches here, and you decided to increase yours, you know, wider, that's completely fine. Just make sure that you have increased to an even amount of stitches, because when you start the band, you need to have an even amount. And I apologize for not mentioning that sooner, but if you don't have an even amount, it's just going to mess up your band. So if you didn't have an even amount, let's say you had 79 single crochet here, when you worked your extended single crochet round, just pop in another one that makes 80. Do it around the seam, because this is the back, you know, the back of the hat. It's not going to show as much, and no one's really going to notice. So you can just pop an extra stitch in there, then you have your even amount, and you're all set. Alright, so now we are going to start round 22. We're chaining 1. We're going to work an extended single crochet right in that same stitch. And then our next extended single crochet, we are actually going to do a post stitch. If you've never worked a post stitch before, that's quite all right. It's very simple. I will walk you through it. So I'm putting my hook around that stitch like that. Now usually when you work post stitches you're doing double crochet or triple crochet, but we are not doing that today, and we are going to work an extended single crochet right around that stitch. So it puffs it out like that. And then this can be a little bit tricky because you're not sure where to insert your hook. You're going to insert your hook right in that next stitch right there and work your extended single crochet. Now we're going to work another post stitch. So we already worked in this one. Sometimes it gets confusing because some people will think, oh, I need to work around here. No, you're going to actually increase. You've already worked this stitch, you're going to work this next one. So you're going to work your post stitch, your extended single crochet around that stitch, and now we're going to work another extended single crochet right next to it. Oops. Yeah, we'll get there. Just like that. So it's every other, so extended single crochet, post stitch, extended single crochet, I guess you can call it, extended single crochet, a regular one, then you'll work your post extended single crochet. So now I need to make my post extended single crochet to keep up with the sequence, and you'll just continue doing that all the way around your hat band. So I will have a total of 70 stitches. All right, I am almost done round 22. So I'm going to work my last 2 stitches, so extended single crochet, and then my last stitch is a post stitch. And keeping with the pattern, and I want to switch to color gray, to my gray color, so I'm just going to change colors, and I've been carrying my yarn, so you can see. And I'm going to join in that first stitch with my color gray, and I'm going to do the same thing for round 23. We're going to chain 1, I'm going to work my extended single crochet right in that same stitch, and now I'm going to work a post stitch around this post stitch. So you do the same thing, you just put your hook around there and work your extended single crochet. Just like that, easy peasy. The next one, extended single crochet, next stitch, your post stitch. And we'll keep doing that all the way around. So we are finishing up round 23. And after this round, I'm going to switch back to white. And that's just my preference. You can do your band however you wish. Completely up to you. You could do this hat all in one color if you wanted to. Or 10 different colors, or 3 different colors. You can have fun with it. So now we're going to start round 24. And it's going to be the same as round 23. And actually we just have 2 more rounds for this band, so 24 and 25. So all you'll do is you joined in your first stitch, you chained 1, you worked your extended single crochet. Now you're going to work your post stitch and work an extended single crochet. And just keep going around till you're done this round, and then you'll do 1 more round, and then the stitching part will be done and you'll be almost finished with your hat. If you want to make your hat look really on point and really nice, you just need to do a little bit of finishing work with it, and it's not too bad. And then you're ready to wear it. Alright, well we're almost done round 25, and this is our final round. Now if you made a couple more rounds earlier, then your number might be a little bit different, which is quite alright. Just the band, when you're working the band, so let's say you made more rounds here, your band rounds are 5 rounds. So just make this part of your hat however long you want, and then your band, just work 5 rounds of your band rounds. So you can really customize your hat to suit your taste. So we are going to finish this up. And I think it turned out really cute. So we're going to join in our first stitch. And now we're going to snip our yarn, grab my scissors, bump the camera, why not, you know? And we're just going to thread that final loop through. And our stitching part is all done. I think it turned out really nice. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to weave in your ends. So if you turn your hat inside out, and then you can see the ends, and you can see how I carried the yarn here, and that just gives you less ends to weave in, because if you snipped off all of these ends, you would have a ton of ends to weave in, and that's not very fun. So I'm going to grab my yarn needle, and I'm just going to get to work. Thanks for watching. Bye.